Hello and welcome to Prep Advisor Debate of the Month dedicated to the best ways to finance your MBA. My name is Marin and our special guest today is Filipa Spasova. Hello Filipa.
Hi Marin.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. Our first question for you today is how did you finance your MBA studies?
Maybe to give you a little bit of background about myself,
Yes,
where I'm
please.
from, and what I've done. So, my name is Filipa Spasova. I'm coming from Bulgaria, from Sofia itself, and basically I did my MBA at Hote International Business School 2 years back. So I graduated 2013 from the San Francisco campus, and I had the chance to rotate in Shanghai as well, because the school basically offers 5 different locations and you can end up a global MBA with 3 different rotation programs. So back to the question, how did I finance my MBA? For an MBA, it's required to have at least 3 years of experience, working experience. So I started collecting some money and putting some savings after my undergrad. So that was about 4 years before starting the MBA. I had also the option to choose from a mix of financing from the school. That means I got a scholarship from the school, as well I applied for a loan that is offered directly from the school, and of course personal savings. So it was a mix of 3 different things.
I see. And what about the scholarship? What were the conditions to get it and to keep it?
Yeah, so let's say that we can put in 2 different kinds of scholarship that the school offers. The first one is merit-based scholarship. This is based on your GMAT results. So if you score more than 650 on GMAT, you can apply for a merit-based scholarship. You put automatically on a list for scholarship like that. There are different percentages, different ranges. So it's between basically 10 and 20%, up to 20% if you get a higher score on GMAT. The other scholarship that I personally applied for was Eastern European scholarship, you can call it. Every year the school motivates different regions, but besides that there are different topics that the school offers, so you can write an essay between 400 and 500 words. So you can choose from different topics as global professionals, women in business. This is very much stimulated for young women professionals that are looking for new career opportunities or just changing the industry. There is also entrepreneurial scholarship and leadership scholarship as well. So there are like variety of topics you can choose from and then write an essay. So in my case, I chose the women in business with emphasis on the Eastern European background that I'm from. So I wrote an essay, my motivation about the MBA. This is aside of the personal statements that are required for applying for an MBA. And then I got the scholarship.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit more about the application process, how to get the scholarship?
Yeah, so I can personally speak about Hote, how this works. I think it's pretty general about every MBA program, but for Hote, for example, there is a website that you can log on, as every other school, I guess. You have to write all your personal information, educational status, working experience, etc. It's like a career portal. It's not even that complicated. It doesn't take more than 20 minutes. So you reach a stage where you have to pay an application fee. In our school, it's $150, and this is basically in order all your application documents to go to the application manager, who is taking care of all your paperwork. Then you submit a scholarship. You're working together with an application manager for that, who is really helping you throughout the process. So that means that you don't have to have every single document to apply for an MBA and wait till the end. That's why there are different deadlines. Let's put it that way. So even though, for example, you don't have the GMAT, that doesn't mean you have to wait till May, till you have like a final date for the GMAT and then collect everything and apply. You can start the application process. That's why you pay this application fee. So you get this special attention and you're on the list. And then depending on the different time schedules that you've put your pipeline, you can submit, for example, the GMAT on a later stage. So by the beginning of the program, you have like the full package of documents and you can still get an acceptance, even though it's a conditional. But then on a later stage, as I said, you can submit the GMAT and get the full acceptance before the start of the program. This gives you also the opportunity, back to your question with the financing part. You can start preparing your finances from the beginning, before even the program has started. So you can also apply for a financial loan. This is a special loan that is, for example, HULT works with a financial institution called GoEd. So they provide, especially for all European citizens, an interest rate of 5%. And you can pay back this loan within 5 years or 8 years, depending on the sum that you're willing to take. So you get up to 40% loan from this organization, and then you have a grace period of 6 months after graduation. That means that you can have these 6 months to find a new job, change industry, whatsoever, and then repay your loan.
I see, great. And could you tell us, please, a little bit more about the most important factors that the scholarship committee considered?
So, of course, as I said, GMAT, if you apply for a merit-based scholarship, that is something that it gives you for sure the percentage. So that's the only criteria, let's say. But if you apply for the one that we just discussed, it's your overall profile, basically. It's, of course, the content you write on this essay, how you structure it, what's your motivation. You have to be a little bit more, let's say, you can imagine how many essays people are reading every day. So if you're more creative and think about a little bit out of the box, that's also beneficial for sure. And it's also a combination of your overall profile, your work experience, your education, and there is also a personal interview that is taking place during the whole process. So this is also another point that it's underlining all these documents altogether.
Can you share a little bit more about the interview? Are there some specific questions that are always asked?
Well, it depends who is going to interview, basically, because it's pretty much, if it's someone very senior from the school, then it will be probably emphasizing on your professional background more. If it's a more, let's say, junior position, someone that is more into soft skills, personal skills, then it's going to be how you work in a team, because this is very important for an MBA, and most of the people should consider it, because during the whole MBA you really work in a team. It's not very much emphasis on your individual performance, but how you cope with different people from different backgrounds, different countries. So it's really about the diversity. So how can you cope with this diversity? And this is something that you for sure will be asked for. And really be honest, transparent, speak about yourself and what's your motivation to join an MBA, because there's so many schools out there, and you have to really underline why exactly you want to do it with this specific school and how you want to do it.
Okay, thank you. And what about the peers in your MBA class? How many of them receive financial aid? Can you share with us?
I mean, it's really difficult to say the exact percentages. Of course, everyone has the opportunity to apply for a scholarship, and as soon as you apply, let's say, as I said, there is a rolling deadline, so the chances to get a higher scholarship is as ever is the early age you apply for one. There is probably the range of these percentages is different, but with the people I've spoken so far, I think almost got a certain amount of help, because all the schools I think realize that it's a very expensive program, it's a big investment, and it's difficult to pay in advance for such a big program.
Okay, great, thank you. And can you tell us how did you cover your living and travel expenses during your MBA study?
So most of my personal savings basically went for accommodation and for daily living expenses. I was very much supported, I can say, from my family as well in times where I couldn't manage. But again, friends as well, because in the beginning I used to live with friends till I found a place to live. You share an apartment, obviously, because it's in San Francisco, it's first of all very difficult to find a place to live, and it's very expensive. So in the beginning we were like 5 people living at one flat, and this was very helpful for the living expenses. And yeah, so family savings, you have to keep something aside for that, for sure.
I see, okay. What will be your advice for the prospective applicants if they plan to look for a loan?
Yeah. I know that it's a scary thing because most of the people are frightened when they hear loan, because we always think about US and all these lifelong loans for 25 years if you go to Stanford or Stern or whatever the school is. I can assure you that it's even easier than a bank loan because you don't have to take a mortgage, you don't have to guarantee for with a property, your house, for example. You just need, in my case, was a co-signer and someone that basically can assure that you're manageable to pay back your loan. That's pretty much when then after that, of course, the expectation is that you get a decent job. Decent job meaning you are at least 30%, you get 30% higher salary, depending where you're from, of course. Then as soon as you get a job, I think it's like a leasing of a car, you can pretty much afford it and pay back this loan. 5 years is not such a long period.
Okay, great, thank you. And our final question to you, please advise prospective applicants based on your experience, which is the best way to finance an MBA and why?
It's a very personal question, I can say. So, of course, if you can, if your family is supportive enough and you have enough savings, of course, don't take a loan because it's a commitment. But I think the perfect combination regarding my case, it's a mix of everything. So it's a little bit something aside, it's a little bit scholarship for sure. If there no matter which school you're applying for, if there is an opportunity for a scholarship, go for it. You never know, and I'm sure that this is a very good motivation for most of the students as well. And yeah, loan is also an option, so a mix of the three, it's great. If you can do it by personal savings, as I said, and family, that's the best.
Filippo, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your time and questions.
Of course, for sharing your experience with our prospective MBA applicants. I believe that Filippo's story will be helpful to you. So join our debate of the month on how to finance your MBA studies. Comment and vote on prepadvisor.com. Thank you.